In today's video, we are going to discuss about import data from a database using native database query. Power Query gives you the flexibility to import data from a wide variety of databases that it supports. Power Query enables you to specify your native database query in text box under advanced options, as you can see on your screen, when connected to a database. Over here, in this example, you'll import data from SQL Server database using a native database query entered in the SQL statement text box. So what you have to do over here, first you have to connect to SQL Server database using Power Query. That means get data in the Power Query window. Then you have to select the SQL Server database options in the connector section. Once you do that, then in the SQL Server database pop-up, you will see similarly this window where you can define your server, your database, which is optional. And then in the advanced options, if you will go over there, you can define your SQL statement. Kindly note that if this is the first time you are connecting to this server, you will be prompted to select the authentication mode to connect to the database. Select an appropriate authentication mode and continue. If you don't know about this, then you can again watch our tutorial series on Power Query. Over here, you should also note that if you don't have access to the data source, both server and database, you will see a prompt to request access to the server and database, if access request information is specified in Power BI for the data source. Lastly, if the connection is established, the result data is returned in the Power Query editor. There you can transform your data and then apply and close the window. That's how you can get the data. Next, we are going to talk about the connectors that support native database queries, and on your screen right now you can see these are the connectors at the time of publishing this video which are going to support native database queries. So you can pause your screen and have a look. Before using native database query, you should be aware of the limitation and issues that you may get. And in the very first comes the query folding. Query folding, while using a native database query, is limited to the PostgreSQL connector only. No other connector supports query folding if you use a native database query. Also, for folding to work in the PostgreSQL connector, the native database query you enter has to work as a subquery. Always keep this thing in your mind.